All right, Hulk. Let's have a heart-to-heart. Just you and me. You know, there's something I've been meaning to talk to you about for a while. It's that temper of yours. Now I get it. You've been through a lot. You've been pushed to your limits, and sometimes the anger just explodes out of you, doesn't it? But here's the thing, Hulk. Being angry doesn't have to be the only way you respond to things. In fact, there's a better way to use that strength of yours. Let's rewind a little bit, back to one of those moments when you really lost it. I'm talking about New York City, the whole Chitauri invasion. Remember that? You did some good in that moment, sure. But let's be honest, you kind of leveled half the city along the way. It was, how do I put this, not exactly your finest moment in terms of property damage. Now don't get me wrong, I know you were trying to help. But think about it. Could all that smashing have been avoided with a little patience, a little control? That's the thing, Hulk. Self-control. It's something I talked a lot about in my day, and it's just as relevant now. You see, in the book of Proverbs, there's this little nugget of wisdom. He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his spirit than he who takes a city. Proverbs 16:32. Now I know what you're thinking, Hulk. You've taken cities before, in more ways than one. But have you ever really ruled your own spirit? That's the real strength, right there. Let's pause for a second, though. I can see it in your eyes. You're thinking, Jesus, I'm the Hulk. Anger is kind of my whole deal. Without the anger, I'm just a big green guy. And yeah, I get that. But look, anger is like a fire. It can keep you warm, it can drive you. But if you let it burn too hot, it'll destroy everything in its path, including you. That's where the real danger lies, Hulk. When you let anger control you, it consumes you. And suddenly you're not the one smashing things anymore. The anger is. It's in the driver's seat, and you're just along for the ride. Okay, Hulk, let's really dive into this. That anger, it's not who you are. It's what happens when things go wrong. There's a big difference. Who you are, at your core, is Bruce Banner. And Bruce is brilliant, compassionate, and capable of greatness without turning green. But you, Hulk, you've gotten used to anger being your go-to. I'm here to tell you there's another way. Let's take a look at some of your greatest hits, shall we? And by hits, I mean the literal ones. Remember that time you got thrown off a spaceship and landed on Sakaar? Yeah, I know you remember it, and I also know that wasn't your proudest moment. I mean, come on, you ended up fighting Thor in a gladiator arena. Now let's break that down for a second. Thor is your friend, and you still ended up trading punches with him because you were just angry. Do you think that's what needed to happen? I mean, sure, it was a cool fight, but it didn't really solve anything, did it? See, here's the thing, Hulk. Even when you're the strongest, that doesn't mean you have to fight. In fact, sometimes real strength is in not fighting. Turning the other cheek. That's what I've always taught. Remember what I said about that in the Gospel of Matthew. If someone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. Matthew 5:39. Now I'm not saying let people push you around, but what I am saying is that strength isn't just about who can punch the hardest. It's about who can choose not to punch when it's not necessary. You know, Hulk, you've got so much potential. You could be more than just the guy who smashes things. What if you use that strength to build instead of destroy? Yeah, I know smashing things feels good in the moment. There's something satisfying about it, right? But building something, whether it's trust or relationships, or even literal buildings, that lasts. Destruction is easy. Construction takes patience, care, and yeah, it takes love. Let's talk about love for a second. I know it's probably not your favorite subject. Smashing things seems a lot easier than talking about feelings, right? But the truth is, love is the most powerful thing in the world. more powerful than your fists, or even your anger. In fact, love is what makes all of that strength worth something. Without it, you're just a guy swinging wildly. With it, you can change lives. You can change the world. You remember the Apostle Paul? He wasn't exactly a Hulk, but he had some pretty strong opinions back in the day. He used to go around persecuting Christians like it was a full-time job. But then, something happened, something big. He had a moment where he realized all that strength and passion of his could be used for good, to build instead of tear down. And from that moment on, he was a different man. In fact, he wrote something that I think you'd appreciate. He said, "If I have the gift of prophecy, and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing." 1 Corinthians 13:2. Now I know you can literally move mountains, Hulk, but without love, without purpose, what's the point? You've got all this power. Use it for something more than smashing things. Use it to protect, to care, to lift others up. That's the real power. I know you've got a soft side in there somewhere. Don't think I didn't notice the way you bonded with little Cassie Lang after you saved her in San Francisco. Yeah, that's right. I see everything. And in that moment, when you smiled at her and gave her that big, green, gentle fist bump, you weren't just some big angry monster. You were a hero, Hulk, a real hero. Not because you smashed something, but because you showed care, because you saved someone and made them feel safe. That's what you're capable of. And hey, you don't always have to do it alone. I know that loneliness is one of the things that fuels your anger. You feel isolated, misunderstood, like no one really gets what it's like to have all that rage inside. But trust me, Hulk, there's always someone who understands. And there's always someone who can help. You've got friends. Bruce has friends. People like Tony Stark, Natasha, Thor. They've all stood by you even when things got rough. And guess what? So have I. You've never been alone, Hulk. Even when you were out there, feeling like the whole world was against you, I was with you. And I still am. That's something you need to remember. You're never truly on your own. Sometimes, asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. Letting others in, trusting them, is harder than any punch you could throw. And it makes you stronger than ever. But let's be real for a second, Hulk. You've got a bit of a pattern, don't you? Something happens, you get mad, you smash, and then you regret it. It's a cycle, and I've seen it too many times. You lose control, and then it's like the whole world has to pick up the pieces afterward. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can break the cycle. Remember that time in Johannesburg when you went on a rampage? That wasn't your best moment, was it? And afterward, I know you felt terrible about it. But here's the thing. Every time you lose control, you have a choice. You can either let the anger take over, or you can take a breath, step back, and think about the consequences. It's easier said than done, I know, but it's possible. With a little bit of patience and a lot of faith, you can change the way you react to things. Let me tell you about patience, Hulk. I had to show a lot of it when I was here on Earth. People doubted me, mocked me, even betrayed me. But I didn't respond with anger. Instead, I showed love. And in the end, that love changed the world. I know it sounds like something out of a Hallmark movie, but it's true. The most powerful thing you can do is respond to anger with love. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. But it's worth it. And you, Hulk, have the strength to do it. I believe in you. You've always had the power to be more than what you think you are. Strength is a gift, but it comes with responsibility. You've heard that line before. With great power comes great responsibility. And it's true. You have the power to destroy, but you also have the power to heal, to save, to protect. And those moments when you've shown compassion, when you've put others before yourself, that's when you're at your best. That's when you're the true hero you were meant to be. Now I know you've had some bad days. We all have. But those bad days don't define you. What defines you is how you move forward. You're not the sum of your worst moments, Hulk. You're not just the guy who smashes things when he's angry. You're more than that. You're a protector, a fighter for good, and a force of nature when it comes to saving the day. And even if you've made mistakes, there's always room for redemption. Always. Look at Peter, one of my closest friends. He denied knowing me 3 times in my darkest hour, and yet he became one of the greatest leaders of the early church. Why? Because he didn't let his worst moment define him. He learned from it, he grew, and he used that failure as fuel to become better. You can do the same, Hulk. Your past doesn't define you. What you choose to do now does. And one last thing. Remember that I'm always here. No matter what, I've got your back. You can always turn to me when things get tough, when the anger feels too big to handle. I'll help you find peace. You've got the strength, Hulk. You just need to use it for good.